During the events of the Long Dark Wintermute Episode 2, the stranger named Jeremiah tells a story of great importance to Will. The story would provide the solution to their bear problem. They needed a special kind of magic, knowledge of the old ways. The story told is about a 150-year-old legend between Spence, a demon bear, and a spear.
There's an old story, local legend maybe, about one of the original settlers of this place. Spence. Story goes something like this. Spence shows up and sets up his claim shanty with his young family in tow. For generations, the family had been traders in the Hudson's Bay Company. Old voyageur stock, they say. Hard people. Survivors. One day, a bear shows up and menaces the homestead. Spence takes a shot at the bear, but it doesn't seem to do anything. Bear wanders off, but Spence's wife, she takes a turn, slips into fever. For days, delirious, she screams about the bear. Local doctor can't do a thing for her, neither can the priest. A week later, a hired hand goes missing, and they find him. Just a body. Ravaged. Spence fears for his wife and kids. He's convinced some evil bear spirit is trying to kill them. Revenge for some slight in the past, maybe. Something in the family history. Spence gets some men together for a hunting party. They go out into the muskeg and track something big for days. Eventually corner it. It's a big son of a bitch. Biggest bear they'd ever seen. Man killer. Story goes, they empty their rifles into the bear and it just walks away. Like it's made of stone. They call it the demon bear after that. Wife's dying now. Spence believes the bear's evil spirit is killing her, eating her soul. He can't get anyone to join him on another hunting party. They know rifles don't work. So he forges a spear. Like a boar spear, but bigger. From some old Hudson's Bay trapper's wisdom, apparently. He goes out into the muskeg, disappears for days, and then one morning, the wife's fever breaks. But nothing from Spence. Some men go out looking for him, and they find him. Half dead, blood all over him, body torn almost in two. The bear's work. The last thing he says is, "Spear stole the bear's soul. My wife is now free." And then he's gone.
Spence is referred to as one of the original settlers of Great Bear Island. The approximate year in game is 2022, meaning that 150 years ago would be 1872. This would be much earlier than the founding of Milton in 1911, which is the oldest settlement on the island that we know of. Spence created the farmstead on the southeast end of the Forlorn Muskeg. His family was a part of the Hudson's Bay Company, which historically was a trapper and fur trade company in real life. Before 1868, the HBC owned a large portion of Canada called Rupert's Land, which surrounded the Hudson Bay and central Canada. Eventually, they would surrender that land to the Canadian government. This was also the time where the company shifted towards trade and commerce. Spence's decision to move his family after the surrender of Rupert's Land was most likely for a fresh start. When it comes to the arrival of the bear, there is a lot that is unexplained. A bear causing a person to break into fever is nothing more than superstition. When it comes to explaining the unexplained, we tend to turn coincidence into superstition. Correlation does not imply causation. These superstitions do nothing more than explain something that isn't understood. With modern science, it is easier to explain and understand pretty much everything. Her fever could be from any disease or virus. A fever strong enough could cause hallucinations of the bear attacking her, leading Spence to believe that the bear was responsible. I imagine the final battle between Spence and his demon bear went exactly how it did for Will and the old bear, with the exception that Will survived and Spence didn't. We don't know the true size of Spence's bear, but it is described as massive. The old bear is not much bigger than the other bears in the Long Dark, but it clearly has been through a lot based on the scars and arrows riddling its body. While it held a grudge against Jeremiah, I believe the old bear was justified in its aggression. Years of being hunted by who knows how many hunters or trappers would traumatize the bear. Its many encounters with Jeremiah would make its desire to hunt him or anyone else even greater. Of course, Will's involvement in Jeremiah's struggle with the old bear made it equally mad at him. I believe the most important thing about this story is that we learn from the past. History often repeats itself, but not always in a bad way. The spear proved to be the solution for an apocalyptic bear. If you enjoyed this lore video for the Long Dark, please leave a like and a comment so it gets more views. Check out the most recent lore video, which is all about the story of episode 2. Finally, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to see more videos like this.